Thank you for joining us again and welcome back to our channel. If you are joining for the first time, I appreciate your time as always. Here we talk geostrategic engagement, how Africa engage its partners from around the world. It is important that we continue to look at this milky relationship that the continent of Africa finds itself with some global north partners. More importantly, the United States of America. It's not what it used to be, and at the moment is charting a new part in its own history and making unilateral decisions which does not sit well in the continent of Africa. What should Africa do? The continent must wake up at this time, because the United States is not coming to save you. The Europeans are not coming to save you as well. And more importantly, if you look at other geostrategic partners like China and Russia, including Middle Eastern partners that are engaging and including emerging Turkey, things are shifting. These countries can support you to an extent, because at this time, the US is losing leverage in the continent of Africa like never before seen. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because it comes at a time when the United States of America's administration is contemplating, some say it has gone ahead already, to destroy already purchased contraceptives that were meant for the continent of Africa. What's fascinating in this is that it's coming from an unlikely partner, Belgium, who continue to advise the United States of America that the current particular contraceptives that have been bought already should be preserved, or since it's been bought already and should not be destroyed. Belgium asks the United States not to destroy millions in contraceptives bound for Africa. The Trump administration has confirmed it plans to destroy the already purchased supplies, preventing their distribution. And if you look at different areas, Belgium has called on the administration of the United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, to abandon a plan to destroy a massive stockpile of contraceptives for women as part of its rollback on African aid. In an interview most recently, the Belgian Foreign Minister, Maxime Prévost, said the stockpile was mostly bound for Sub-Saharan Africa. It is clear for the continent of Africa to wake up from sleep, because the United States is not as strategic a partner as you may think. The United States of administration at the moment continues to put Africa at the center of its foreign policy. Like I've said, the United States Secretary of State, Mr. Marco Rubio, once said that the United States foreign policy will be based on US's own interest. We've seen how South Africa have been thrown under the bus, Egypt, and a whole lot of countries, and African countries continue to receive migrants. In some cases, some African nationals. In other cases, some criminals from other countries that are being sent to the continent of Africa. I'm not saying that the continent of Africa should not engage strategically with the United States of America, but it comes at a time when there's been a geopolitical shift across the region, where Africa is picking up itself and African countries come under tremendous pressure and some sanctions if they fail to work alongside the United States of America, or if they embrace the country of Russia, looking at the Sahel countries, more importantly, countries across the region, talking about Kenya, that's embraced the country of China, is facing tremendous difficulties. This particular relationship comes at a moment where African countries must sit up, because the United States is not as a strategic partner as it used to be. Belgium appeals to the United States of America not to destroy contraceptive piles. Belgium has urged the United States not to destroy a stockpile of millions of dollars worth of women's contraceptives bound for African countries. The foreign ministry said the contraceptives were purchased by the United States of America's foreign aid agency, the USAID, under former President Joe Biden, to be provided to women in some of the world's poorest countries, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa. But Donald Trump's administration, which is dismantling the United States of America's aid as well, confirmed last month that it intends to destroy the contraceptives being stored in a Belgian warehouse, sparkling countries among NGOs and also women's groups. We continue through diplomatic channels to vigorously advocate against such waste, Belgium's Foreign Minister Maxime Prévost said. It is important for you to understand that the geostrategic partnership that you are seeing is not coming in the global media. It's happening in the background. And if you cannot wake up at this time, because the US is not going to have your back when the moment comes, you got to wake up, because at this time, you have to open your alternative, work alongside even some fringe powers across the European Union that you may not agree with them in a number of areas. But again, they could provide the solution. At this time, when Africa is facing some tremendous difficulties coming out from the COVID-19 and trying to replicate growth in terms of a different aspect about its economy, with a emerging middle class, a bulging population, challenges from youth, and a whole lot of issues happening across the region. With this particular partnership that is being shut down by the United States of America, Africa, no one has to tell you that at this moment, you better sit up. Belgian authorities say 10 million supply of birth control has not yet been destroyed. Contraceptives brought by the United States of America, that's the USAID, had been in limbo in a Belgian warehouse. The US government said the products were destroyed, but local authorities found them. According to experts, if you look at different perspectives, the Trump administration had the New York Times most recently looking at Thursday that it had destroyed millions of dollars worth of birth control pills and other contraceptives destined for people in low-income countries. But when the authorities in Belgium, responding to the reports looking at the Times, obtained authorization to enter the warehouse and had been holding the supplies as on Friday morning, the stockpile was still there. An official in the Flanders region said local authorities carried out on-site inspection this morning, most recently based on the report, and found no cargo had been diverted for incineration, said Tom Meyer, that the person who was focused on that particular research, a spokesman for the Flanders ministry with jurisdiction over that particular issue. The pills, intrauterine devices, and hormonal implant, valued at around 9 million United States of American dollars, have been purchased by the United States of America's Agency for International Development before it was largely dismantled this year. The Trump administration officials, as of June, ordered the supply destroyed after the State Department said that the contraceptives was not life-saving and that the United States of America would no longer fund the purchase of birth control products for low-income nations. Nobody have to explain to you where things stand at the moment. If you continue to look at some partners who does not provide you any value at this time, it is about time for you to try to diversify the relationship and look at those partners that have something to put on the table, because it goes a long way to ask you guys to wake up, because the Trump administration might be a gift to you, the continent of Africa, but you may not be receiving the signal. The United States of America at the moment is going through tremendous challenges looking at its back and forth with the country of India, once considered its darling, had been kicked under the bus. And more importantly, look at Europe's back and forth with the country of the United States of America, with the country of India with regards to the tariff, when the United States, largest trading partner in the continent of Africa, South Africa, is facing tremendous difficulties at the moment as a result of Trump administration's own tariff. These particular move by the country of the United States of America issue ring alarm bells. What does the NPR say? The United States of America is destroying 9.7 million in contraceptives. Is there any option? According to that, the State Department has confirmed plans to destroy millions of dollars worth of taxpayers-funded contraceptives meant for women in low-income countries. The controversial move comes at the time when the Trump administration continued to scale back foreign aid. The stockpile of family planning products, including IUDs, implant, and pills worth over $9 million US, has been stocked at the warehouse, like I've pointed out in the previous report, in Belgium since the administration dismantled the US's agency, according to the report, and frozen foreign aid earlier this year. According to the statement from the multi-humanitarian group and the US lawmakers, the product's expiration date ranged from 2027 to 2031, according to Doctors Warehouse Border, Medicine Sans Frontières, known as the MSF, and the Productive Healthcare Non-MSFI International, looking at that of the United States of America. The contraceptives were intended for girls and women in low-income countries, particularly in Sub Saharan Africa. But instead of going to crisis zones and refugee camps, they will be incinerated in Europe. So it is clear where things stand at the moment. And if you sit so comfortably in your offices and feel that the United States of America's own current administration have your back from the geostrategic point of view, then you are mistaken. Let me know in the comment section what you think in regards to this particular move with the so-called partnership of most African countries who at this moment must be moving swiftly and making some unpopular choices going closer to partners, even those that you do not agree with, to an extent to diversify the strategic survivor, because the continent of Africa at the moment will be paying the price in a number of areas, because reports like this is the clear indication that you better sit up or you'll be at the mercy of the United States of America. I want to thank you for watching. I will be looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.